Howdy, welcome back for more Space Engineers. Today, we're going to build a solar array, and we're going to see how to set that up properly. We're also going to get the med bay installed. So, let's get to it. Over in this room, this is where we're going to build our med bay and our cryopod. That's going to be first up today. But first, I need to make a quick change to this room. So, we've made it a little bit bigger in here, and now we just need to make a couple of changes right here to these conveyor systems. And this wall here. This has got to go away. And right here's got to go away.
Full.
Go ahead and we'll place what we can over here first. Right here we want a T-junction. We're going to put a T right there. And right here I was going to put a C, but I don't think we're actually going to. Right here we're going to put a regular junction block. And we're going to weld that up right away. Here we want a armored C junction. Just like so. Now we just got to weld all that up. And we have to add a C junction right here. Right? Yes, a C. There we go. We're just going to get this all welded up. And then we'll finish putting everything in. Alright, now that we've got all this welded up, I'm just going to pop our med bay right there. Need that conveyor junction on the bottom for it, because it has a conveyor junction on the bottom and on the top. We're going to use the bottom one. Now, cryopod. The cryopod only has a connection on the back. That's why we had to put the pipe coming up and out. Get this all welded up. Alright, now that we got the med bay all welded up, well, now that we've got the med bay all welded up, and look at the lighting situation in here again, and take a better look at it. I think we need to increase that radius a bit. But for now, we're just going to look at the rest of the room. I had to expand this wall out a little bit, get a little more space here. The cryopod is nice because if you're on a server, you can actually log out in this block and your character won't lose their inventory. They won't die, they won't have to respawn. This saves your character. The med bay will refill your hydrogen, your oxygen, your electricity, and of course, refill your health. So also very handy, and it does it a lot quicker than the survival kit. This block is just like the survival kit with no production, but this works super fast. And it also allows you to change your outfit in game. You can change your helmet out. Just click on the Badger helmet here, which is kind of nice. Not really anything you need, but it's kind of nice to have. Now, because I want this room to have its own oxygen supply, I'm going to also cut this block out and replace it with a vent. Alright, now we've got a vent in here, so if we shut this door, you should see it go airtight. Where's it not airtight at? Alright, I think I know. I have to rip this out and...
Inventory full.
You look here, that's feeding into the rest of the conveyor system and out into the world. I need to flip that over so this is airtight still. Alright, now it's airtight in here. So with these reinforced conveyor tubes, be sure to remember, you need to make sure that the entire line is airtight. And if you mismatch them back and forth, you may wind up getting a loss of airtightness in your base. So, there we go. This room's done. Now we're going to cut to me building a tower, the solar array. Great, I've been waiting for daylight, and we finally have daylight. Now, we're going to build the solar array off the back of this, because I don't want to have it too close to the base, and I kind of want it to grab through the little gap in the mountains, because I don't want to build it in front. It's got to be in back. But there's a couple of things you should be looking for when you're looking for a place to build your solar array. One, you want good access to the light. We don't have that. It would be better if I built it in front of the base. I don't want it there, though. Two, you should have enough clearance to be able to build the solar array. We're going to do the best we can with what we've got. I'm going to make sure my color is set right. I want clean armor. Okay, I've come out 30 blocks from there, which might be enough, because I may choose to expand the wind system with more wind turbines. And we're going to come up enough blocks to fit some solar panels in there and get more clearance for the sun. Okay, I've come up 20. Yours may vary. You may do a different number of blocks here, and that's fine. Now, for a solar array, there's a couple of things you're going to need. You're going to need a rotor, a hinge, a camera, and solar panels. You're also going to need a custom turret controller. The custom turret controller is going to go in the base, though. Now, we're going to place a rotor head right here. And on top of that, we're going to place a hinge. Make sure you're on a hinge and not hinge part, because the hinge will add a hinge part. There we go. Now we've got the hinge, we've got the rotor, and we're going to come back in here and we're going to rotor lock the rotor, and we're going to lock the hinge. Incomplete, and we're going to say hinge lock. We're going to rename this to hinge solar array, or hinge solar. That'll work. And rotor, we have an incomplete rotor here. We're going to change that to rotor solar. Okay. Oh, I forgot to lock the rotor. Now we can just search for solar, actually. And you can see them both there. And I forgot to put a dash there. Alright, and we're going to rotor lock. And we're going to come in here and we're going to do share inertial tensors, which shouldn't matter, but we're going to do it anyways. Alright, now that we're back out here, we need to add a row of light armor blocks, and the best way I've found is to actually come in and we're going to, the way that looks the best in my opinion is to come in and add these light armor slopes, and you're going to want to come out 4. Well, you're going to want to come out enough to be able to fit some solar panels on there. So let's look at the solar panels. You can see that the solar panel is 2 blocks wide. You want it to be starting on these half blocks here. So you're going to want 2 out for every solar panel that you're going to hang off of this. So let's switch back. Got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to try and do 5. going to do 10 more. Right. And now we're going to come back to our first control bar here. And you're going to want a camera right here on this block. Just like so. That camera is going to be responsible for tracking the sun. And on here, you're going to add all of your solar... Ooh, no. You're going to add all of your solar panels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Your solar array doesn't need to be this big. Just figure out how many solar panels you need to take care of what you need to do. And when I say that, that's because I'm going to actually make this bigger. Alright, so now we have a perfectly functional solar array setup. Now, a little trick that I've learned for solar arrays is we can actually make this twice as effective. The solar panel, with the way that it works, you can actually double them up like so. You can put another solar panel right on the back of the other solar panel and have just as effective, actually double the effectiveness of your solar panels. This only works for one layer and only when they're touching like this, but it has to do with the way that the solar panels calculate the light they're seeing. And the way they calculate is they calculate based on whether or not there's a block in front of them. And these blocks do not block that calculation for the solar panels that they're going on to. So you're actually able to double up your solar production and get twice the power out of them. So there's our solar array pretty much done. Now I just have to do a whole lot of welding. And once I do all that welding, we'll be right back. Got this all welded up, and you can see we've got 2 layers of solar panels here, and they will work together. You can see this one on the bottom is already seeing a little bit of sunlight, the same amount that you're seeing on the top. So that essentially will give us 80 solar panels. And as I said, you don't need to build your array this large. Now, we need to go back inside and set up the controller for this. I'm going to put the controller right here. This is a custom turret controller. I'm going to weld this up. Alright. Now, we've only got one camera, and then we've got the hinge and the rotor all named, so let's name the camera. Well, we do have 2 cameras, but we know that that's the other thing. So, alright. So we'll just go dash solar. Alright. That'll work good. So now we want to set up our custom turret controller. The custom turret controller is going to have a whole bunch of options on it because it can actually be used for a gun turret. In fact, it was originally made for the gun turrets. You're going to come down to the assign azimuth rotor, and this is going to be your rotation, and that's going to be the solar rotor. Assign elevation rotor, and that's going to be the solar hinge. Assign camera, and that's going to be the solar camera. Now, we don't want to assign any tools, but in this tools and weapons here, this is where you would assign the guns if you were going to use this for a weapon turret. Now, we want to always aim at sun. And now we should Oh, we also need to come in and go solar. Select both of these. Actually, we're going to select only one. Turn off hinge lock and turn off rotor lock. Now, when we come out, we should see that solar panel pointing at the sun. Now that will keep it always pointed at the sun and always giving us the best possible output for our solar array. Which I'm going to be rather happy with that right there. Alright, so that's a lot of power now. See how much we're getting from that. So one solar panel is giving us 160 kilowatts, approximately. So we multiply 160 times 80 solar panels, and we have 12,800 kilowatts. So 12,800 kilowatts. So we should be able to now come in and we can hide all these solar panels. We don't need to see them. Because they're just going to clutter up our stuff here. So now we are getting lots of power. And the batteries are full, so I can't even show you how much power we're getting in. We're getting a lot. That solar array is going to keep us in the positive for power for quite some time. Alright, so I'm super happy with this solar array. It's going to do exactly what we need it to do. The only thing I'd like to do is actually come in here on the back and see about making this look a little better. Maybe mirror this top bar here on the back side. Not sure that'll work, but we'll see what we can do. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to come back for the next one where I'll be going over the ins and outs of upgrade modules. Until then, y'all have a great rest of your night. See ya.